So friends, we welcome you to this short webinar, and this is about a very specific circular which has come from DoPT, which may bring relief to say 2 to 3 people in each college. I mean, there is a possibility. And because of the staggered workload and all, we have been so busy with our own academic lives that we have not paid really attention to this. So we've thought that it is important that we hold this webinar because the last date of applying for this relief is 31st August. So in each college, we will have to find out who all can benefit and try to get documents which can help our colleagues to get it. I mean, we want to reiterate that this brings relief to a very small section of teachers. And actually, we are fighting for old pension scheme for all employees. And that remains our major demand. With this, we start, and I invite Rudrashish for a presentation, and after which I'm glad that Rajiv Ray has been able to join us. So he will also respond to the queries which our colleagues may have. Over to you, Rudra. Please start.
Thank you. Good morning to all. The genesis of this issue was during the COVID times when there was a lockdown, and UGC in September 2021 sent a circular in the light of a DoPT circular in around say June, July 2021. So these circulars were issued by DoPT because of series of court judgments which came over a period of time, and many state high courts have given judgment in favor of employees, and later the Supreme Court in one case has given a judgment in favor of the employees who had continuous service right through that period before and after 1/1/2004. So in the light of these court judgments during the COVID period, first the DoPT and then the UGC sent letters in the month of September. If I'm not mistaken, it was 21st September 2021. Now, those letters were forwarded to college, but since the classes were not in physical mode and teachers could not visit their respective workplaces, I am not sure whether those letters were circulated among teachers. So I remember it came to some of us, so we responded to that because those letters were very specific about one, advertisements, and secondly, those who were already in service before 2004. So that's why those letters were they had a very limited window room for teachers and non-teaching staff in the university. Now in 2023, because representations were given to the DoPT again, and then more court judgments came. So the first major letter which came was in March 2023. And the March 2023 letter first time pointed out that even if there were departments where advertisements happened and posts got notified, even in such cases, employees should get the relief. So these are not largesse conferred by the government. These are all because employees have been fighting for their rightful due of pension for a very long time, and gradually small reliefs are coming to very specific sections of the employees. So in front of your screen, if you notice that you have two DoPT, one is your University of Delhi, which on 3rd of August gave a very specific instruction. And before that, there is a 6th July 2023, which came from UGC. The UGC notification came in the light of the DoPT notification of 3rd March to 2023, where it clearly points out, and you have the circular here in front of you, and there's a link which we have circulated. But before that, if you look at the August 3, 2023 letter, which says coverage. So here it says that I am directed to forward here with the UGC letter, along with a copy of the OM or Office Memorandum dated 3rd March 2023 regarding coverage under Central Civil Service pension rules in place of National Pension Scheme of those central government employees who were recruited against, please understand this, who were recruited against the posts, vacancies which were advertised or notified for recruitment on or before 22nd December 2003. Now, this is a very important shift which has occurred. The shift, in my opinion, is the DOPT is no longer asking that you should already be in service. The DOPT is asking that in case, and again, if you look at the DOPT order on the screen, where it says, and it mentions, this is one of the very important clause in that 3rd March letter. Subsequently, Department of Pension and Pensioners Welfare, in consultation with the Department of Personnel and Training, like dated decisions of the honorable courts, dated this, giving one-time option to central government employees who were declared successful for recruitment in the results declared on or before 31st. Now, this is basically for central government employees where recruitment happens through a written test, right? Declared successful, results were covered. Right. So there was fixed time schedule for different activities under the aforesaid office memorandum dated 17 February 2020, which was the original memorandum based on which people gave representations to the DOP. Now, for us, the most important thing comes in the next slide, that is in the clause number 4 of the DOPT order, where it says the matter has been examined. Again, it has now been decided. Please look at the underlined sentence, that in all cases where the central government civil employee has been appointed against a post or vacancy which was advertised / notified for recruitment or appointment prior to the date of notification for National Pension Scheme, that is 22nd December 2003, and is covered under the National Pension Scheme on joining service on or after 1/1/2004, may be given a one-time option to be covered. Now, why this is important? In our university system, it is important that this is, we had a period in the early years of 2000, like right from 2001 all the way up to 2005, when appointments were stopped, say from 2003 to 2005, right? Because if you remember, UGC came out with a sort of a sort of an unofficial gag on appointments. There was, a ban on appointments. People were only recruited as ad hocs or temporary, primarily temporaries against substantive, against advertised posts. That's why we have identified some of the categories of teachers who would be benefited, by this particular notification. Of course, the first one is very clear. Those whose vacancies were advertised before 22nd December 2003 and were filled after 1/1/2004, where they became permanent. Meaning that your vacancy was advertised and then the appointments happened just after that and you became permanent, you are eligible for this because it will be mentioned in the college records against which appointment you have been, against which vacancy and which advertisement you have been appointed. In the second case is a case where there have been, this is the case which have won various high court, various judgments from the courts. It's the teachers who were selected through a duly constituted selection committee against temporary vacancies before 1/1/2004. And they had a continuous service without any break till they became permanent against that same vacancy, till they became permanent after 1/1/2004. Now, this is the category which has won maximum court judgment. So they must apply, and they must apply with the caveat, particularly with a copy of their appointment letter, which says that they have been working against a substantive vacancies continuously without a break. This is the most important thing which you need to underline, because CCS 1972 pension rules clearly point out, if you have a continuous vacancy, even in a temporary capacity without a break, and you get confirmed subsequently, you are eligible for the old pension, GPF cum pension scheme. Please get it loud and clear. This is a very important clause. The third category of teachers are those who were selected against leave vacancies. Now, against leave vacancies, maybe because those days leave vacancies were not, because the roster used to be different, they were not shown against any individual. So it would be seen that against leave vacancies to a duly constituted selection committee. That means they were temporaries and became permanent after 1/1/2004, having continuous service without any break. They're also covered by that clause of Central Service Rules, Pension Rules 1972, CCS Pension Rules 1972. And that clearly, that in fact underlines this point that if you have a continuous service without any break, then you are eligible for CCS 1972 pension. These are three clear categories, and all of you, those of you who fall in these category, you must apply as soon as possible in that state format, along with a copy of your old, uh, your appointment letter. The fourth category is something which we are right now implying, means we are saying that there is a, in the DoPT notification, it makes a distinction between notified and advertised, right? So there were advertised positions, like I know in our college positions were advertised in 2003, and ad hocs have been continuing against those positions, and they became permanent against the same vacancy after 1/1/2004. Now here, according to the DoPT notification, it says that, in such cases, suppose interviews had happened on time before 1/1/2004, these teachers would have become permanent before that, right? So that's why these teachers must apply, joined as an ad hoc against substantive positions which were notified or advertised before 22nd December 2003. Clear? So this is a category which we think should be benefited because the numbers would be much more against this category. And in the last category, which again is an implication, and we are trying to push for it because it is an important, the DoPT notification makes this distinction between advertisement and notification. Now the question is, what is a notified post? A notified post is when it is first created, meaning when it shows in the college record, and the record which has been later approved by the university before it gets advertised. Sometimes and in those days, because of the UGC ban, there was a lot of gaps. I know in our college also, there was gaps of 8 months to 1 year in cases where notifications, between notifications and advertisements, right? So that's why this is an important thing. A lot of teachers might have joined after the cutoff date of 1/1/2004, even as an ad hoc, or for that matter, they were working against that and became permanent later. One of the most important thing to note here: when was the advertisement first created? Right? When was the post first created? This is something which we are trying to push, because if the notification makes a distinction between advertisement and notified, between the terms notified or advertised. Advertised means you are putting it in national dailies. Notified means posts are created and approved by the college and later by the university. At what point of time they figure in the roster? At what point of time they figure in the roster? That is a very important thing. And that's why there will be cases where you can see, especially backlog vacancies and others, which were notified or advertised before this cutoff date, and the positions were filled later. These are all cases which we need to push as cases where this relief can be given. Now, these are the 5 categories which we have identified. There can be more categories. I'm not very sure about that. But what we need to understand here is, of course, this, as you can see in the due option form, due has given a format. And the format is interesting. It is saying place of present posting, post on which initial appointment was made. Please understand, these are all because of these are central government format. It is not exactly customized to ours, but we need to put it. Date of offer and appointment. They're making a distinction between offer and appointment letter. Means you might have been offered the job before 1/1/2004, but you might have joined later. And date of advertisement against which initial appointment was made. They are talking about initial appointment. please understand this. That means the format is giving us some leeways to move ahead, right? So this is, so what we are, the supporting documents, of course, offer an appointment letter, the initial one, and of course a copy of advertisement. And I would add one more: you must dig out the college roster of those periods, say from 1999 till 2004, and say when a post was first notified. That should be the third, especially for the category 5 cases which I have pointed out. Now, I want to just put in a caveat here. These are small reliefs for teachers, or for that matter, for employees. We need to maximize whatever little window room we have. The reason is, it is through this maybe we can put pressure, and if as and when through single digits, through double digits, if we increase the numbers, that is the way to put pressure on the gradually, so that the numbers increase and the pressure is put for the restoration of the old GPF cum pension scheme. But we must get hold of these opportunities, small window room, to get relief for whoever is eligible. And in college, my request to all of you, please, once you go tomorrow, first and foremost, dig out old, first, today evening, check your old documents when you exactly joined, your initial appointment letter. Go to college tomorrow, pick up your, dig out the old ads, especially from 99 to 2004, right? 2004, 2005, that entire period, all the ads, pick up and check when you first joined and against which vacancy you have been selected. Each of these things matter. And then fill up this, format and send it. Make sure to send it. Please understand what I'm trying to say. We must send this before 31st of August from our respective colleges. We must make sure that pressure is put up. I am not saying that everybody who applies will get pension or will get the relief. We are trying our best to maximize it. But because university is extremely vindictive, it is very, very obstinate. And I need to also tell colleagues here that 3, 4 court cases which the teachers have won, university is planning to appeal to the Supreme Court, right, against the same, against the relief which teachers have earned through the High Court, right? So it's a long drawn battle, but we must not falter at the level of the last date, and we must not think twice before applying, for the simple reason, from our side the job needs to be done, right? Because the more we push, and we then should become part of the big movement, which is your last pension for all, right? That's the last slide, because that is our ultimate goal. That is our ultimate goal, to go for the pension scheme for everybody. But the fact is, we this is an opportunity which we must not let go. Our senior colleagues who fought in the courts for more than 20 years for CPF to GPF, it all happened because of an error of judgment in 1987. In 2023, we must not make any such mistake. I understand we are not getting salaries. Pension is a very far-fetched idea. But as we progress, since we have a few years left, we have that kind of a window room, if required, to prolong our struggle on this matter. Because this is something which we have to get under any circumstance. I rest my case here, and questions and queries, they are welcome.
Can I ask a question, please? This is Professor Rajalakshmi from Department of Sociology. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm Rajalakshmi from Janki Devi Memorial College. See, I started teaching in 92 August on ad hoc basis. And in between, just for 2 years, I was temporary. But then I got permanent 2006. So from 90 to almost 93 August till 2006, I was ad hoc and temporary in different colleges. I taught in Jamia as well. But I became permanent 1st May 2006. So, what is like, how do I see my case? Because I have taught for more than 10 years, as it is for my, associate professor and later for the professor's interview. I'm a professor now. I lost about 4 5 years of service. So now, how do I look at my case?
Uh, Professor Rajlakshmi, I think what I have mentioned earlier, you joined in 2006, but did you join JDM directly or were you teaching anywhere else
No,
before
I
that?
was teaching in different colleges. I was
No,
teaching
what
in
I'm
Miranda.
saying
Yeah.
is on
Uh,
1/1/2004, were you teaching in JDM or any other college?
I was teaching in a Miranda House. I was not in JDM.
All right. So what in JDM, what you need to check is the post. When was your post advertised?
Okay.
Because this is a difficult case because it is not a case of continuous service, but
Correct.
one
Correct.
still puts for it,
Yeah.
in the sense that when was that post advertised? When was that
Okay.
post notified? These are two different, facts. These are two different things which you need to get from JDM, and whether the post or the vacancies against which you were selected in 2006, right? Whether they were advertised before or on or before 22nd December 2003.
I
That
think
is
it
the
was
most.
advertised. I think it was advertised in 2003 itself, but then for due to some reasons, it had to be re-advertised again and again. So I think, yeah,
No,
I'll confirm that.
in that case, if it has been re-advertised for whatever, so if you get the details, then if you can just contact us. I think we also need to study the exact detail before giving you any specific customized advice or
I,
suggestion. The
I'll
reason
do
is
that.
every case is different. This is the another thing which I want to say. Like this is like the promotion, small reliefs in promotion case. When a circular came, it was not applicable on everybody as a blanket circular. These are all customized cases, right? That's why every individual case needs to be examined, and not just an individual's details pertaining also the college documents which we have mentioned. So my suggestion is you dig up, you have to refer to others, you mobilize all resources for them, so that at least we are clear when we make any observation what exactly
Thank
your
you so
status.
much. I'll be in
Because
touch.
we
Thank
can't
you.
we can't afford to give any kind of a false hope or any kind of a wrong advice, because these are all crucial issues of life.
I'll check and get back to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Rudrashish, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, of
Shiva.
course.
Yeah. Rudrashish Shibani here from ARSD. I got the point about, trying to dig in documents from the college about when the post, etc., was advertised. So I was appointed as a permanent in 2005 July at ARSD. But I was working as a temp prior to that at Ramlal Anand since 2003. And I have the offer letter, etc. I don't have the advertisement, but I do have the offer letter for RL, will that help?
You must apply. And uh, the the court case, because that is the closest to the CTS 1972 rules. The court case clearly says that those who have been
Mhm,
teaching, or those employees who were in a substantive service which was temporary in nature, right,
mhm,
and got regularized after 1/1/2004, right, without any service break.
mhm, mhm.
Without any service break, they are eligible for pension, and that is a very clear judgment, which in fact has been implemented in various places. Now,
Okay.
in your case, this particular notification may not be of such a great help, but you must apply for the simple reason. Even if it does not give you now, university has to give you later, so that if the university makes an interpretation, because I am just worried at the level of the university. Otherwise, your case
Mhm,
should be clear. Your case should be clear because you are working against a substantive vacancy through a duly constituted selection committee, right, and became permanent after 1/1/2004. But the
yes.
nature, in your case, you shifted job from one college to
Yeah,
another.
and there was no gap.
Right.
There was no
Yeah,
gap.
that's right. The university can take a position, but it is not against the same vacancy. Right.
Yes.
But in your, but the CCS rules clearly say from the employee's point of view, the continuous service is the employee's continuous,
Okay.
and hence it's for pensionable benefits. The operative part in the CCL rule is if you joined even in a temporary capacity against a post having pensionable nature. So that used to be the case in 2003. So I think you must yourself, and I hope I don't. Let us be
Yes.
hopeful, and we'll fight, because this is something which has a handle which has come to us, which has also given us an impetus to fight. And I can assure you, it will not come to us easily, and we have to really work for this.
Okay, thanks.
Rudra, then I think, where we are mentioning temporary services, we should also put links to the court cases. I think we should edit the PDF to include the court cases and judgments, which our friends can refer to in their representation.
Yeah, that's right. No, especially we need to, court cases, more than the court cases, we need to refer to CCS 1972, because that is to people. So I think that laid out, and we have to put it. It's there I think in it's available online. Central government service.
Include that. Swasni,
Rudrashish,
yeah.
Rudrashish, this is Abha, this is Anubha.
Hi.
Rudrashish, because it's interesting, the form is not mentioning. Hi, the form is not mentioning the idea of no. So it's interesting if they are just interpreting advertisement and notification as the same.
Look, what they are saying is I know, because please understand. This is a format given by the central government, which the university has. They did not customize it for the purpose of the university employees. So when you look at the format, it says post on which initial appointment was made after the date of offer appointment letter, and distinction between the hand. On the other hand, there is something very interesting. They are talking about initial appointment. Advertisement against which initial appointment was made. My sense here is they are not making any distinction. They are not making any distinction between, say, ad hoc, temporary, etc. Yeah. So it is important that anybody who joined against a post which was advertised earlier, who joined service before 2004 in any capacity, must apply. There is no harm in application. There is no harm. You are not losing anything by applying, but rather you can, possibly one can push for those cases. So what you are saying is very right, Anuba, that they are not making any distinction, but they are also giving us small window room by putting it on this term, initial appointment. An initial appointment implies that if your initial appointment was before, right, 2004, that gives you a strong chance.
Rajiv, will you want to come in?
Not much. My request would be to all that somebody is asking as whether the date is extended. The date has not been extended so far. Whether you get the, if we can dig out, because there have been queries earlier that if we can dig out those documents, if we are unable to dig out also, my request would be that before 31st of August, everybody should fill up that option form claiming that they would want to move to the 1972 rule under the OPS. That has to be done definitely. And there have been queries regarding whether it should be sent to the some branch in the university. So far, the university has not asked to be sent to to any particular branch, but I am aware that a few colleges have already processed the cases and processed it in their governing body and has sent it to the university. But my request would be till 31st, have a reasonable chance or even an iota of a chance to make their cases, and as Rudrashi said, find out as many documents as possible. Even if we are unable to find out, and even if there is a doubt in our minds, then also we must fill in the option form and then see how many of us will get it. This is my first advice, I think. And whether it should be sent to the university, at this moment, the university has not asked for it. If they don't ask for it, we should pass it in the GB and say that these are the number of people who were found to be eligible, and we are sending you the information so that we can change the NPS funds into the OPS, so that we can open up their other accounts in the college. That should do. But probably the university will bring out something in the time being. Nothing more to add, because Rudrashi has been very clear as far as I am concerned. मेरे हिसाब से रिप्रेजेंटेशन बहुत लोगों ने, मेरे अकाउंट पे लगभग 30-35 रिप्रेजेंटेशन अपने अपने कॉलेजेस में लोगों ने दे चुके हैं. ओके, और यहाँ भी कुछ लोग हैं जो ऑलरेडी रिप्रेजेंटेशन अपने कॉलेजेस में दिए हैं. आई एम टेकिंग इट फॉर ग्रांटेड कि यूनिवर्सिटी के जो लोग फंसे हुए थे वो 2020 के ही नोटिफिकेशन से लगभग 6-7 लोगों का काम हो चुका था 31 दिसंबर में. फाइनली उनका चेंज ओवर शायद बाद में हुआ है, बट 31 दिसंबर 2020 में उनके केसेस क्लियर हो चुके हैं फिजिक्स और केमिस्ट्री डिपार्टमेंट में. टीचिंग में तो फिजिक्स और केमिस्ट्री डिपार्टमेंट से लोगों का काम भी हो चुका है. इस वाले नोटिफिकेशन के लिए 2-3 चीज करना. ये जो लोग रिप्रेजेंटेशन दिए हैं बट ऑप्शन फॉर्म भरे नहीं है, उनके लिए रिक्वेस्ट हो जमा कर दे. और वो कौन सा फॉर्म, अगर यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली का फॉर्म हो या कॉलेज ने अगर कोई फॉर्मेट बना करते हैं, कॉलेज यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली के अपना फॉर्मेट नहीं निकालेगा. बिकॉज आई सी a problem in the University of Delhi format, because it does not serve largely. University of Delhi के टीचिंग हो नॉन टीचिंग हो दोनों का ही पर्पस सर्व होता नहीं है. बट वी शुड नॉट circulate a format on our own. We can create pressure that a format तैयार हो जाए अपने अपने कॉलेज में, so that वो fill up हो. अगर नहीं भी होता है, my request would be that इसी फॉर्मेट में अपना रिप्रेजेंटेशन देते हुए लेटर के माध्यम और इसी फॉर्मेट को ही बनाते हुए, इफ देयर इज नो फॉर्मेट व्हिच कम्स अप इन द नेक्स्ट 10 days, वो कोशिश चल रहा है अगर और कुछ चेंज करके भेजा जाए, तो वी शुड ट्राई फॉर दैट. So our first target should be to get in advertisements, make a representation or a letter to the college, उसको ऑफिशियली रिसीव करना है, और उसमें एक ऑप्शन फॉर्म के तहत, जो ऑप्शन फॉर्म टेक्निकली बहुत कॉलेजेस में लोग सर्कुलेट भी नहीं किए हैं अभी तक. मेरे जानकारी में है कि मेजॉरिटी कॉलेजेस में ये यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली का फॉर्मेट सर्कुलेट नहीं हुआ है. बहुत कॉलेजेस में मिला नहीं है. अगर किसी को मिला है उस फॉर्मेट, आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ द फॉर्मेट, वो बताए. यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली के हेड से मिल गया, एक हेड ने आभा को दे दिया, मेरे पास है तो वो मैं सर्कुलेट किया हूं, वो नहीं. इज देयर एनीबॉडी इन दिस ग्रुप हु हैज गॉट इट फ्रॉम देयर ओन कॉलेज एओ में? तो आवर फर्स्ट टास्क वुड बी कि जो लोग जमा नहीं किए हैं वो अपना कागज जुगाड़ करें और एक फॉर्मेट में जमा करें. ये फॉर्मेट हो या इन द कमिंग डेज बिफोर द 31st अगर कोई और फॉर्मेट बदल के आए, वो साइन करके जमा करे. वो तो 100% वो करना पड़ेगा. This is
I will share. In fact, I will put some more links to the CCS 1972 rules. I'll put links to the court cases, judgments which help temporary teachers to avail this. So I'll enrich this thing and I'll also add slides to say what all we can dig for the 5 cases we have put, what kind of documents teachers should search for. So I'll update this slide after our discussion, as per our discussions, and then I'll share it. Okay, yes, we will also make a WhatsApp group and send a link, invite you through a link, and you people can join so that, as we search for advertisements, old advertisements, it can help many more than, a small set of people who find them, to broaden that. Thanks, everyone. We can end this
Thank you.
session then. Yeah. And we will remain in touch over the WhatsApp group. And of course, you can always call Rajiv, Rudra, and or we can set another meeting if required. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Rudrashish. Thanks, Rajiv, for joining. And thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
We will make a WhatsApp group and remain in touch over this issue.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Avninder. Thanks.
Bye.